Alright, I think we're live. Um, alright, what's up, y'all? I am KV with a paintbrush. Um, so this is my first stream. We're kind of testing things out, but I'm super excited to start art streams. So we are going to go ahead and explain what we're doing today. I'm going to go ahead and explain this. I have a spinny wheel here. And I'm doing artwork where I turn Pokemon into Animal Crossing villagers. I'm gonna make them into stickers. I'm probably gonna sell them at some markets and stuff. So right now I'm trying to decide which ones I want to do. I'm only gonna do a couple for this stream, but yeah. So I mean, like, I've got a couple like layers like down in here that that already I could work on, but like I kind of want to start fresh. So if y'all will give me like 2 seconds, I'm gonna just find that window. And we're gonna go ahead and spin the wheel. We're gonna go ahead and see what Animal Crossing villager, or what Pokemon we're drawing as an Animal Crossing villager. Let's see. Alright, so as you can see, like, I got like a decent selection here. These are just all Pokemon that I thought would translate well to being an Animal Crossing villager. If you don't see your favorite here, I'm sorry. Either I already drew that, or I just haven't gotten to it yet. Like, I just kind of just went through the Pokedex and just looked at random ones, and I'm like, oh, that could be fun. So we're just gonna go ahead and spin this wheel. We're gonna see who we're doing first. Braviary. Alright. Alright, so let's look up some Braviary references. Let's see. Braviary. Pokemon. Alright, so we got Braviary here. Now, I know that there are eagles in Animal Crossing. And eagle. I don't know that I'm gonna go with like completely this design. I think I'm gonna stylize it a little bit more. But yeah. So let me minimize this. And let's get started. So let me run. Oh, wait. Yeah, so let me run, CNH. I have to minimize that window, but, I don't want it blocking what I'm trying to see, but at the same time, I do need to look at this for reference, so I'm opening that in a different window. Alright, so yeah, we got Braviary. Let me grab an image of him. And we're gonna go ahead and drop this in here. Add image. We're gonna drop this in here. I'm gonna scale up a little bit. That's just gonna be the reference. Actually, let me go ahead and grab some eagle references. Alright, so we got this. I'll just download this for now. Oh, nope, that is a webpage file. Okay. Save images. Nope. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm trying to grab an image here. Let's see. Nope. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let me pop another image on here. Oh, wait, no. I didn't need to do that. I'm gonna add an image. There we go. So we got some eagles here. Oh. I hate when that happens. It, like, doesn't, There we go. Okay. So I got our references. We've got our... We got literally, like, everything going right now. So that's cool. Pull up my stream here. Awesome. Okay. So... let's go ahead and get started. So, Animal Crossing villagers, they tend to like... I mean, we can go over here to look at proportions and stuff. The proportions... they're a little odd for eagles. They're gonna be a little different. But... and Braviary... I think his beak is going to be a little more narrow than what I'm seeing over here. I think we're going to make it a little more narrow. So let's just go ahead and move in here. Oh, nope. Like pencil. So the thing with, like... the thing with these guys is, like, their eyes are, like... you know, the mouth sits, like, almost parallel with the eyes. So... that's gonna be a fun little thing. And I kind of want him to, like, have his arms spread out. Kind of like how he is in over here. I kind of want that. So... yeah, I kind of want him looking up a little. So the head's gonna be back here. So eyes are gonna be like back here somewhere. This is kind of like I said, their eyes are very different. So that's kind of what it's gonna look like, with the beak and everything. But I kind of want to, like, have it a little more indented. I'm gonna kind of have his mouth open as well. So he's gonna have his mouth open. See, like, these eagles, like, none of them actually open their mouths. Like, I'd probably have to look up a whole other different reference image for that. But yeah, I kind of want it to, like, have an indent because his beak is very angular. And then what kind of eyes does he have? So he just has, like, normal oh, you know what? Actually, you know, it would be funny. You know how, like, villagers, like, yell at people? Like, he kind of looks like he could be yelling at somebody. So, like, that could be fun. In that case, we probably want to move... probably want to move that down a little bit. And he's got some feathers. Like, he's got feathers up on his head. So, actually, the top of his beak is actually like this. Yeah. And then these feathers actually go, like, over his eyes. And then he's got, like, bigger feathers behind these. And I'm not going to keep this, like, extremely proportionately accurate. But I'm going to try to be as accurate as I can. And then he's got these that come behind this. So, like his head, as an eagle would normally, like, come down like this. But he's got, like, this. He's got, like, this fuzz behind his neck. So, yeah. I also haven't decided what outfit he's wearing. But right now we can just look at these guys and we can see that, like, they've got, like, this, it's not even a bean shape. Most Animal Crossing villagers have, like, a bean-shaped body where it's, like, one circle up here and one circle down here, like a bigger circle. But he's got, like, the opposite. He's got big circle up here and little circle down here. So, this is kind of how his body goes. But also, we're having him kind of lean forward a little bit. So actually, you know what I'm gonna do? This is a great thing sometimes. Like, sometimes proportions are tricky, and what we can do for here, for having him, like, kind of yell. You know, villagers, they kind of lean forward when they yell. So, we're actually just gonna, like, tilt his head a little forward. We're gonna lean that down on the body a little more. And we're gonna kind of move this one back a little more. Get my eraser. We're gonna lean him back a little more like this. And we're gonna so, like, these guys have pretty long wings. And it seems to be, like, rectangular. Like, they kind of come out like this. Like, you're not seeing individual feathers. Ah! Sorry about that. We're not seeing, like, individual feathers on these guys. Like, we're kind of, well, this one actually does. Actually, this one does. And I actually would really like Braviary to have, like, individual visible feathers. So I think we're gonna do that. Now, I don't know from this reference if Braviary's wingtips are colored differently. And with Animal Crossing villagers, the thing is, they're very, like, symmetrical. So you see that, like, these wings are going to be the same color on both sides. So we're just gonna... Yeah, these guys have like really long wings. Like the wings are about as long as the body. Maybe a little longer actually. I mean, if this wing were to come down, it would be about here, which is good because that's about where the legs are. Proportions are very important with these guys. Actually, I want to round this out a little more. Because this way you can see that I like rounded it out on the top. You can see that I rounded it. So, so yeah, we don't know what kind of body he's gonna have, like what he's wearing yet. And I kind of think maybe we don't have to figure that out right away. Let me like look up what a villager looks like when they're yelling at somebody, because I think that is... Let's see. Nobody has a picture of a villager eagle yelling at somebody. Okay. Oh, we do have one where the mouth is open. We do have one where the mouth opens. Someone has a picture of that. I mean, I got the mouth pretty well, actually, close to that. So that's nice. Alright, let's see. If I played Animal Crossing more than I do, I probably would already have this picture, but unfortunately... I've got a lot of, like, angry villager pictures, but, like, none of them where they're yelling. So, it looks like when a villager yells, they got, like, these, like, marks above their head. Kind of like this. Kind of like that. But yeah, they kind of lean forward. And we have... Their legs are still flat. And they don't bend their legs, which is odd. I'm just like looking at pictures of villagers yelling, and they don't actually bend their legs. Like, they don't assume more of a squatting position. They kind of, I don't know how to explain this. Whoops. Okay. So there's something I want to do. I'm still like looking for references, but let's see. You know, I don't remember if my URL is... I'm, like, letting people know that I'm streaming, and... Okay. Alright, so... I wanted to make sure I posted on social media that I was streaming today because, we gotta make sure people know. But anyway, so let's get back to this. So I'm not very, like, experienced with, like, the birds in Animal Crossing, like, drawing them. It's a little hard. I feel like he would... Let me zoom out a little, move over to... Okay. So, they kind of have, like, these... You know, they have drumsticks. They're birds. So they kind of would have, like... So, eagles have more, like, talons. They're not, like ducks or, like... You know, they don't have, like, the flatter feet. They've got, like, actual defined nails that you can, like, see here. So, their toes are gonna kind of, like, go out like this, and then they got the little dew claw on the back. Although this foot, actually, you know what? Let me erase that. This foot's kind of, like, angled outward. So, like, actually his toes are gonna be like this. Whereas this one, his toes are gonna kind of be closer to us. And I know this is, like, really rough, and I mean, that's just how this is. And obviously he's got a tail. Now, if he's leaning backwards, then the tail is going to be, like, sticking up like this more. And I'm not sure... Let me look at these, pictures. There's not a lot of pictures of, like, the back of eagle villagers. So I kind of have to do a little guesswork as to the tails. If they've got, like, actual definition, like, defined ridges in them. I'm gonna assume that they do. So we're gonna add a little curve to these. But also... So, okay, so he's got 2 lines. So, I know these are not, like, curved lines like how I'd really like them to be, but it is what it is for now. It looks like eagles tend to wear a lot of, like, jackets and stuff. I don't really like what this dude's wearing, actually. So we got sweaters, we've got... Oh, you know what? Let me go back to the claws. Let me go back to the talons. I mean, their talons don't really, like, curl up like this. So, like, maybe I can, like, smooth it out a little bit. And I kind of want a little more separation between the toes, too. So let me, do some erasing around here. Yeah, I want more, like, separation between the toes. Actually, that, yeah. And the thing about Braviary is he's got like very furry drumsticks. So we're actually gonna go ahead and give him. Yeah, like you can see, like he's got a ton of spiky fur around his feet. So we're gonna go ahead and just add that in. That was weird. I've got a keyboard that changes color, and it just, like, did something really weird. Okay. So, he kinda... Yeah, we'll make that a little... We'll define that leg a little more. But because of perspective, we're not gonna see the Dewclaw back here. The Dewclaw would be like back there. Actually, there's not really any reason why this Dewclaw needs to be as long as it is. So let me get rid of that. Do these guys even... No, I guess they don't. Never mind, they don't... None of them have Dewclaws, actually, like... Which is funny, because eagles, I thought, did. But, But yeah, so this one is going to be facing toward us, so, like, the toes are going to look a little weird. But once we get the nails on here... Kind of looks a little better, at least. Oh, wait. So these, like, actually widen, and they actually widen at the, Animal Crossing, not physics. Animal Crossing, like, portions are interesting, because... So these actually narrow at the top. That's interesting. Yeah, like their feet like narrow. They narrow at the top rather than at the bottom. It makes sense, I guess. So I guess whatever shirt he's wearing is probably gonna come about here and come about to there. Just judging from, like, the other eagles we've got here, that shirt's gonna go about there. I have to look up another picture of Braviary because this is... Okay, Braviary. Let me see what the deal with his wings are. Okay, so his wings are actually, in fact, just red. So he doesn't have, tipped... He doesn't have the blue and yellow tips. So, yeah, we're good there. We're good there. Now, this is interesting. Like, a lot of these birds have, like, ringed feet. He does not. And actually, this fuzz goes, like, all the way to his talons. So... Just kidding. We're gonna... actually get rid of this fuzz. We're gonna get rid of that fuzz. So, this fuzz... We're actually gonna, like, kind of do this. We're gonna kind of combine it with the feet. Yeah, we're gonna combine that with the feet. So he'll still have his drumsticks, but they'll kind of, like, morph into this. I don't know, I kind of want that to be longer. But yeah, so, like, that kind of, like, morphs into his... Like, he doesn't have, to your typical eagle talons. Another thing is what kind of, like, clothing he would wear. So, Braviary's kind of, like... Obviously, he's a flying type. And we've got this Braviary, we've also got, Hisuian Braviary, which I may do. I may do that one at some point. It wouldn't be that hard. I actually like to, whenever I do Hisuian forms and normal forms, I like to, like, mirror them. I did that with Zorua when I designed Zorua. I did that. I would like to do it with this one. Now I didn't have Hisuian Braviary on the spinny wheel, but that's okay. I don't need to do that. And in fact, I may just save Hisuian Braviary for another stream. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep this sketch as is. I'm gonna look at, like, maybe other pictures of Braviary, because Braviary... I like to choose their pictures, or not their pictures. I like to choose their poses and, like, their outfits and stuff by just their personality. And already, you know, we have a super aggressive bird. At least that's what he looks like in all the pictures that I look him up with. So I'm gonna look up some villager outfits, because I do like to keep a lot of, like, the villager outfits. I like to keep these guys actually having villager outfits. I see there's, like, a soccer jersey. I don't think that's the right one. Let's see. I like to actually really use, like, real outfits from the villagers. I like to actually majorly reference, because this is supposed to be Braviary as an Animal Crossing villager, so I feel like it's only right that I keep the outfit as accurate as possible. Let's see. I'm looking what Generation 5. So, New York. He's a New York... I mean, Generation 5 is based off New York City, from my understanding. I haven't actually played it. So, like, I probably don't need to give him anything, like... anything really extreme. Ooh, what about a scarf? Maybe you'd look in a scarf. I don't know. I'd show you guys what I'm looking at, but, it'd be really annoying to have to figure out how to get this to... I'd have to change the, browser windows and stuff. I don't know, what's a good New York outfit? Let's see. I could Google it. I mean, I've been to New York, like, several times, so... Like, I'm not sure, like, what New York fashion is. It seems to be a lot, like, more warmer clothing, and that makes sense. Like, with Hisuian and Braviary being, like, up in the cold areas. That makes sense, even though that's in Gen 4. Trench coat? Braviary in a trench coat? Maybe. Let's see. Because I also don't want to, like, completely copy... I don't want to completely copy a villager that already exists. I think that would be not a good idea. So, let's see. Oh, you know what about like one of those puffy jackets? That, especially like I've got a picture up of one here with like lines, like stripes, kind of like Braviary stripes. I think that would actually be really cool. So he would have, the jacket would like come down here. So that'd be the middle. Yeah, I actually really like this idea. We can have his feathers kind of go over the top of the collar. And so we're looking at the side of him, like here. So, like, this is where the jacket seam would be, probably. So, I feel like a jacket like this would actually be symmetrical. So, let's go ahead and do that. And then, obviously, for these wings, he's gonna have the sleeves, and they're gonna kind of go over like this. But because jackets, like puffy jackets, kind of have this particular, you know, they're puffy jackets. So they're gonna have sleeves that are like this, but then they're gonna have this puff that kind of comes out. I like this. I actually really like this. So we're getting somewhere with this. Let me pull my stream. I really like to like watch the chat and engage with the chat. So if you're watching and you want to say hi in the chat, please do. That would be amazing. Okay. This is still bothering me. These toes over on this foot look a little, just a little A little too thick. Okay. So I kind of want to make a cleaner sketch now. Just to give me something to follow. So I tend to do lineless art. So I would like to make a sketch for me to actually be able to follow with that. So we're gonna just go ahead and... I'm gonna go ahead and make this transparent. By the way, the music I'm playing is copyright free, so hopefully I don't get stricken. Just saying. That would be a problem. These feet are not exactly, like, making me happy right now. No, I'm really liking this design, actually. Like, this is really cool. Alright, I think he's done. Like, I think we're done with the initial sketch. Oh yeah, that's right. I do have these lines up here. We're gonna get those with a ruler. But I am gonna go ahead and add them. We just, like, look over Braviary himself, make sure there's nothing I missed. But I think he's good. I think we're good with this original sketch. Let me get rid of, well, okay, I'll leave the Braviary up, because I do need the, I am gonna need his color palette. But I think we can go ahead and call this ready to go. Let me, like, just, let me bring one of these in, let me look at the proportions. No, I think the proportions are pretty much on point. It's just that, like, these eagles have, like, this frill around their neck, and Braviary doesn't, so that's kind of, that's kind of the hard thing. Oh, wait, hold up. 2, 3. Okay, so let me, there's something I want to fix here. I'm just now noticing it. This, I actually wanted this feather to come down like this. So let me erase that so I don't look at this and think that that's what I wanted to do. There we go. Alright. Let's get to the main art. So let me turn these guys off. Let me, like, pull in one of my other sketches because I want to make sure that so when I finish these, I bring them into Photoshop and I actually start turning them into stickers. So I want to go ahead and grab another dude here just to make sure he's, like, the same size before I start majorly working on him. Alright, so we'll grab Jolteon here. We'll grab Jolteon. I don't try to make them all the same exact height, but I would just want to make sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, he's, like, just a little bit bigger than I'd like him to be. So we're gonna just shrink him a little. But, yeah, his feathers are about as high as Jolteon's ears. So this is gonna be a bigger sticker, for sure. This is gonna be a much bigger sticker than some of my others, because I've got others where they're, like, sitting down, and so those are gonna be a little smaller. But, no, this works. I think the only thing that bothers me, honestly, is how small his feet are. Where are my eagles? I mean, maybe his feet do need to be a little bigger. Just, like, a little bigger. A little bit. I may cross that bridge when I get to it. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and start on... I'm gonna go ahead and start on his... Let's see. He's like this purple color. And I'm grabbing from what I think are midtones, because all of this here is shadow. So I'm pretty sure I've just grabbed the midtone that he is. So I'm gonna grab the paintbrush here. I don't want to make it too big, because it's gonna make some like fuzzy lines if I make it too big. So we're just gonna go ahead and I haven't decided what color I'm making his jacket. I could use it as a reference to like, I could like reference his shiny form with it. Because the thing is, when I draw these normal color and shiny. And I usually flip the colors of their outfits as well to denote that it's a shiny. So I may do that. Alright, we're gonna go down here and get his feet. I mean, this is gonna look really rough at first. That's just how this goes. Especially with, like, the outlining here. But we will get it. Hold up. Is he, like, really fuzzy down there? No, he's not. He's not. I thought he might be, but he's not. I kind of want that one closer to be on the line work. Or closer on the line work. Oh, actually, you know what? That tail should be red. The tail should be red. I am just gonna go up here and color in some of this, just so I have, like, a color to pull from. Because this is not going to be the only time I need this color. And then we're gonna grab some red. I'm gonna get his tail. So I'm actually gonna outline his whole tail in red. And I'm actually going to do the striping with the selection tool. But I'll go ahead and, like, define where the stripes are going to be, at least where the red is going to stop. And then the thing with these wings is, yes, the underside is this purple color, but not completely, because some of the outside of the wings goes over. So, like, you know, I don't know. We'll go ahead and get these feathers up here. Now, the problem with this is when I make these into stickers, anything white. So I put like a white stroke. It's like a white, I put a white border around them. And so, like, if there's anything on here that's like white, it's going to blend in with that. And so I try to do as off-white as I can, reasonably. So like this stuff here, I'm actually gonna just bring that down a notch. And then the feathers underneath are going to be a little darker than they normally are. But that's just so it shows through on the white border. Because I ran into that problem. I was drawing Lugia, I believe. I was drawing Lugia, and I made him off-white, but then what happened was I did the highlights as like a as like pretty white. The highlights were pretty white, and they kind of blended in. Oh, you know what? I needed that one. Let me color this in. I don't know, this is taking a little longer than I thought it would, but I thought I'd be like on my way to doing highlights by now. But art takes time. So I may only be doing just this one today. We will see. You know, it's crazy. I'm looking at like how long my stream is, and like the webpage is very much lagging. You guys are not watching this live as it happens at all. Like, I'm just now noticing this. So I'm doing this obviously, but I'm looking at YouTube, and where's my music? Hold on. Alright. There we go. Sorry, y'all. So I'm looking at this, and my YouTube stream still has me sketching. It still has me doing the sketch layer, which is crazy. Alright, so we got the beak here, like more like this yellow. Honestly, I think with this one, everyone's gonna want Hisuian Braviary more than normal Braviary. I don't blame them. Hisuian Braviary is pretty cool. But yeah, if possible, I'd like to actually do this, like, start to end. Like, maybe not end, like, where I bring it in, where I do the thing where I bring it into Photoshop and actually prep it for a sticker. But, for sure, I'd like to, get it to, I'd like to get it to the point where I can start, like, working with it. Alright, now I need this blue here. So it looks like the yellow on the tail is the same yellow as the talons. So that's good to know. Yeah, we've got this up here. So we'll go ahead and color that in. So I haven't decided on this jacket yet. That's interesting. I'm saying that, like, I'm getting a lower stream bitrate. Let me just have a look at that. So that's odd. I'm not sure if that is a OBS thing or if that is just YouTube. But anyway. So yeah, his wings. Yeah, these guys are like all symmetrical. So I guess I just have to do the wings this color. So if y'all are looking at what I'm using here, this is, so this is obviously this is, Sketchbook, which used to be owned by Autodesk, and then they became their own company. And then Autodesk actually, used to offer it for free for a while. But then when Sketchbook became their own company, they started charging for it. Autodesk did actually charge for it for a little bit. And then yeah, when they put it up for free, that's when they were kind of phasing it out. So, oh, his eyes are purple. That's gonna be a problem. Wait, I just noticed his beak actually, like, touches his eyes. Let's fix that. Yeah, I did not catch that at all. Alright, let's get that. There we go. Because I want his eyes to be able to stand out, so... yeah, we can't have that. Can't have errors like that. Okay. So... I'm just gonna use circle tool to do this. Like, I could probably do this just fine with the, Alright, I'm gonna angle his eyes a little more. I could probably do this just fine. And that needs to be smaller. I could probably do this just fine without the circle, but, I mean, I don't mind it. Also, I don't like how... I want this to be a lighter black. And we're just gonna expand it a little bit, move it up a little. And I kind of want this, but like slightly darker. There we go. And then his eyes are like almost nearly circular. So I'm gonna get a little off-white here. Gonna go in here. There we go. So now Where? Okay. I did not do the feather. I did the bottom feather. I did not bring it in yet. So let me. There. Okay. So yeah, the jacket just needs done. I'm gonna do off-white for the sleeves. I'm gonna make it a little darker off-white. But yeah, like I said, I'm making this into a sticker. I cannot, at this point, tell you where these are going to be sold. If I, like... I cannot tell you, because, honestly, I don't even know. I'm, like, trying to get a small business started, so... It's kind of one of those things where I don't know where I'll end up exactly. If I'm gonna... If this is gonna end up at, like, a convention, or... Or if I start an online store, that's also a possibility. Ah. Okay, I'm not liking how the sleep is going. There we go. Alright. So... now we need jacket. I think we're definitely going to add some red into the jacket, for sure. Let me pull up the reference that I had for that. So it started, like, with white at the top. And, like, it faded to yellow to orange to red. So I say we start red at the top. And then maybe do, like, a yellow-blue. I don't know, I kind of want to add, like, another color in there. Like, maybe some orange or something. I could have red fading into purple. That could absolutely... that could work. And I do like the red being, like, a reference to... because we're not seeing, like, the back of him very much. We're not seeing very much red on him. We're not seeing very much red on him, so I kind of want to still keep some red on him. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna actually make this part white as well. And then we're gonna grab that red again. Yeah, I realized that, like, YouTube puts ads in the stream, so, like, the longer I go, the more behind you all are, which is crazy to me. Alright, so that is... let's see. Let's do a purple like this, but like, let's lighten it up and brighten it up. I like that. Let me just color in a little bit so I've got something to eyedropper from. I'm not gonna lie, I like using the paint bucket tool, but the paint bucket tool has an issue where it's like transparent. So, like in Sketchbook specifically, I don't know what the deal is, but alright, let's bring this to more of a blue. Yeah, I like this. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna grab this blue. It's fine. See, it's too close to the, it's too close to this purple. I kind of want it to stand out a little more. Yeah. So, I think he's like, I think we've got the outline done here. Except for his mouth, actually. Let me go ahead and grab that. I'm just gonna like color inside of his mouth so I can get the color right. So we can now take away this and this. And now we've got our line work essentially. Oh, and I can take away the other eagles too. Oh, and I didn't put his claws on. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. I kind of just really want to go ahead with this. So first things first, now we gotta like sharpen up the lines. So everywhere where like I wanted to make things pointy, we're just gonna make sure that these are actually, so this is where I do something that is a major help to me, and that is I turn on a dark layer behind this. I turn on a dark layer behind it because when I'm working with light colors like this, that are like close to white, I can barely see if I'm like actually getting all the pixels. So we'll move back to a white canvas in a little bit, but first I'm going to take care of all these light patches. But like I chose green because I work with a lot of warm color stuff. A lot of these Pokemon are like warm colored, so using a green background really helps everything stand out. I'm not gonna lie, this bit is like very satisfying to me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it is very satisfying to me to like clean these up. And some of these are not going to get cleaned up until I start painting them. Like, especially a lot of these inner Yeah, so you can see like the eraser left enough stuff that I had to you know, take care of it. So like I said, I'm gonna come back to the shoes, the feet. I think it's interesting. No, the Animal Crossing villagers always, as a general rule, wear clothes, but no one ever wears pants, and no one ever wears shoes. So I don't know why I think that's interesting. I just think that's interesting. I guess maybe that like didn't, you know, separates them from the player. I don't know. I don't know why. It's odd. All right, we're gonna grab this. So yeah, the issue with the paint bucket is it makes everything semi-transparent. It makes, like, you look like you're dumping a bunch of color on here, but if I take it into Photoshop, it's like, it's all semi-transparent. And it's just easier to go ahead and dump it here. And then I'll take this image into Photoshop and I'll do like a behind brush. And I'll like add that color back in that way. It's probably like not the simplest solution. The simplest solution is probably just to find another thing that doesn't do semi-transparent bucket fills. But I really like this program, so I'm just kind of very loyal to this program, and like there is probably a brush on here that does it. I mean, if I look at, so it's got like 120 tolerance, and that's probably what's causing the transparency. If I had to guess, who knows? But I always want to make sure I color in these lines here. Because, like, it separates the pixels. And, like, you know what drives me crazy is, you know, watching a video, either, like, on YouTube or some other... And you can tell when the person who did the artwork did not know that you're supposed to do this. Because, you know, you can clearly see the lines. And, like, it's a little frustrating to me to, like, see that. It's, like, secondhand frustration. Because I'm like, dude, it's so simple. Just do that. Alright, so I'm gonna actually bring this border in a little closer. There we go. And then this over here. There we go. We'll get the beak. How much did that fill? Oh yeah, no, that's not bad. That's the other thing. Oh, shoot. You have to like be super careful to make sure all your lines are closed if you're gonna do bucket fill. Because if you don't, obviously it'll go like everywhere. Yeah, I think I'm just doing this dude today, honestly. This is... I may rename the stream so that if y'all want to come back and see how I did this, you know, it's super easy to find. But yeah, this iteration of Braviary definitely gets overlooked for its Hisuian form, I think. Like, in my opinion. Oh, that's right. This is all supposed to be, yellow as well. There we go. Okay. I'm just like checking over this jacket to make sure I don't... Okay, nice. So yeah, this is where I can go ahead and... I'll go ahead and bucket fill that as well. Then I will bucket fill that. And that. Oh no! See, this is what I was talking about. You always want to make sure. You always want to make sure that those are closed in. You always want to make sure those are closed in. If you don't, it's just really annoying. So. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in here and get these. I'm gonna redo the outline on his beak here because it's pretty jagged and kind of messy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. On the bottom of his beak here, I can get that. Oops. That's not an issue. There we go. Now, the way I'm coloring this in, I'm probably going to end up having to guess where, when I do the shading, I'm probably going to have to end up guessing where to do the highlights on this, but... I like to leave little guidelines here, like you see this here. I like to kind of leave that there just to know where to do the shading. Because obviously this whole sleeve is... Like, that's the thing with lineless art, is it's lineless. There are no outlines to tell you where to do highlights, where to do shadows. So you just kind of have to guess. Which, in my opinion, isn't hard, but it may be hard for someone else. But... I guess for me, like, because I drew the sketch and everything, I'm super familiar with where I intended those to be. But, like, if someone else handed me... If they just handed me a image like this, and they were like, where do you do the shading and stuff? And I'm gonna be like, I don't know. yeah, he's coming along. He's coming along. Alright, so let me look at his tail again. Where's our boy? Here he is. Okay. So we have yellow stripes first and then blue. And like I said, it looks like the same yellow that, I hate when my hand, like, catches on the Wacom. Like, my skin just, like, catches on the Wacom, and it, like, almost snags. And then, like, a line does not end up being straight. I'm still gonna leave these, like, little lines here. Just because I feel like I'm gonna need those at some point. Alright, so we got some white. Let's dump some white in here. So I know, like, his back is actually, red. So, like, actually, he would have some red back here. But I'm gonna leave that as purple for now. Oh, no. Grab that. Like that. White. And then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and start bucket filling everything because I feel like that would save us a little time. Not really, but like, I don't know about y'all, but, like, I love doing artwork, but sitting in the chair is what I don't love. So I have to, like, always toe this balance of, I have to toe this balance of, like, I don't want to, like, have a hurting back later. And, like, it's like, close to dinner time, too, so... You know, I want to make sure I eat. Yeah, so this was just kind of my first stream, like, very experimental. If you guys liked it, feel free to subscribe. I'm gonna get better at advertising when these come out. It's just with this being my first stream. I just wanted to, like, make sure everything could actually work properly. Because OBS, I have to use a stream key, because OBS it thinks I don't have a channel. Like, I have a YouTube, or I have an email address. My email address for this channel has this channel attached to it, obviously. But Google, or OBS, like, refuses to acknowledge that, so... It keeps asking me if I want to create a channel. Even though there is literally a channel already attached to this address. So it just doesn't... It's very annoying. Is all I have to say. It's very, very annoying. Like, I would love to just be able to control everything from OBS, but I can't. But I've heard some people say that, like, you have to stream from OBS for it to, like, actually recognize your channel. You have to just, like, go ahead and stream. So, I mean, I don't know if that's actually a thing. But I guess after this stream I'll find out. Yeah, also, if y'all ever want to see, like, the process of, like, not just the artwork, but, like, how the stickers are made, I'm considering... What I would make a video on is, like, information that's already out there, like, it's nothing new. But, like, maybe I can explain it in a way that helps other people who, like, didn't quite get it from the other videos. Because I know sometimes I can watch videos and not understand at all what's going on. But then, like, other videos literally say the same thing, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. I don't know, maybe if I do that, maybe it'll help somebody, hopefully. But obviously this is Adobe Sketchbook. I use a Silhouette Cameo for the actual art, for the actual sticker production. And I would say right now I highly recommend it over Cricut. I have not really worked with Cricut very much, but I know, like, their subscription stuff drives me crazy. And so that's actually why I went with Silhouette Cameo over Cricut, was because I didn't want to get sucked into having to pay for subscription stuff for stuff I feel like I should already have. You know, because I paid so much for the machine. That's the crazy thing about Cricut. Like, you pay $300 for one, and you still have to pony up for the software. Alright, now I can fix this beak here. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely planning on making Hisui and Braviary, because I think honestly that one's probably going to be liked even over this one. And that's totally fine with me. I mean, they're both, it's all my art, so I mean, I'm not gonna be picky about what people like. I mean, I am gonna be picky, but picky as far as quality goes, quality of product. Oh, YouTube wants to know if I'm still watching. Like, no, I'm live streaming. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this finished. This part of the eye, I might just go ahead and do a behind thing in Photoshop. Alright. But yeah, these stickers go through like several layers of, how do I put this? They go through several layers of just making sure they're good before I even consider actually printing them and turning them into actual stickers. I think it'd be kind of funny because, like, I've got Hisui and Braviary, or not Hisui and Braviary. I got normal Braviary here, who is wearing, like, a winter coat. So, like, I think it might be funny, because Hisui and Braviary is, like, actually, he's, like, up in the cold areas of Hisui. So, like, it'd be kind of funny to give him, like, summer clothes. I could, like, see if there's, like a, how do I put this? I could see about putting, like, a, like, looking like like an older style of coat. Like, an older style winter coat. And giving that to Hisui and Braviary to kind of reference, like, the history. Like, that's an idea. And I will say I don't want to do just, you know, if I'm gonna do stickers, I don't want to do just do Pokemon art. Like, I think it's important to get your name out there, and I think sometimes fan art is a huge way to do that. But I also think that, like, you should move toward, like, original art being your main sell. Like, I got no issue with people who do fan art. I think that's great. But, like, personally, I would like to move toward my stuff being liked for my stuff and not because it's got a, you know, something else attached to it. And I've got a couple designs in the works that are all mine. Like, like, I've got a couple things in the works, like, for, like, neurodivergence awareness, so, like, ADHD and stuff like that. Because I have ADHD, and I think it's important for people to know about it and what it is, and because let's be honest, it's not taken seriously. Like, ADHD, unfortunately, is not taken seriously half the time. Because, like, people just, like, don't understand how it works. So, like, I think anything that gets, like, more awareness out is fantastic. I probably just want to bucket fill that. No, bucket fill this. No! Goodness. There. Yeah, no, that looks good. I like that. It's got it definitely looks like one of those, like, retro winter jackets. He needs a white. I'm actually gonna do this one actually full white. Actually, let me zoom out and look at. Let me see. Okay. So this should be like up here. There we go. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this in here. Because I'm... Oh. Headphones are being weird. Okay. So, like, I'm so close to doing highlights and shadows with this. And that's, like, one of the last steps before I bring it into Photoshop to, like, actually finish it up. It's one of those things I don't want to rush. Oops. Oops. Yeah, like, I don't want to rush it. But I definitely want to, definitely want to get this done. For sure. There we go. And I realize that his toes don't have their nails on yet, and that's just gonna be that way for a little bit. So let me look at the beak. I think I can do some highlights on the beak. The tail still needs the striping. Let me grab this. I'm gonna bucket fill these. And then what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna block off there. So I can just do that. Actually. Go ahead and get that as well. I know that's not like complete, but that's okay. Alright, so these feet. These feet need the bucket. And then I think we're just gonna do like light gray for the nails. I'm just gonna like freehand these. There we go. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to be bringing this into Photoshop and fixing some of this. Alright, so he's like, I mean, obviously we've got like a couple lines here and there that could be filled in, but I think we're like pretty well ready for highlights. So I usually like to just like drag it straight up. Highlights, so the sun's gonna be coming in from this angle. So we're just gonna go ahead and zoom out. And I also want to make the brush a little bigger. I know, like, this isn't perfect, the way I'm doing this, but honestly, this is more just, like, a guide for myself, because I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna do the touch-ups, but this is just a guide to basically just, oops, yeah, with that little more curve. That's just a guide for me to know where to go. Alright, so we need shadows. I'm gonna dilute that a little. There we go. So yeah, so you can see, like, that's pretty much what I do for the highlights and shadows is I just do general highlights and shadows, like one color for the highlight, one color for the shadow. Alright, so we got this wing here. we'll grab this again and we'll make our shadow color. I know an easy way to do this would actually just be to like make a color palette. That would honestly be an easier way to do this, but yeah. Alright. Actually, no. This would... Logically, this would come down here, but like... I don't know. Also, I feel like this would actually create a little shadow here. I know this would... There we go. This is probably like one of my favorite parts of doing these is doing the shadows and the highlights. It's just very satisfying. So like I said, I don't want to like... Like, this needs to be an off-white for sure, because of the sticker border. Alright, I actually want to do a little bit of shadows here as well. And this is almost all gonna be shadows, this one here, because... Oh no! It selected the eye, too. That's probably the pixel tolerance, hold on. No, it's a 32, it should not be selecting that. That's so weird. grab this. We'll sharpen up the lines. There we go. You know what? I should have actually put some shadow on this. There we go. Actually, I'm seeing that, like, this is not, I'm seeing that this is, like, not flush. So we're just gonna do that. There. Now the eye should also, because we've got this shadow coming over here, the eye should probably also have that. So just gonna color in. I'm just gonna color this in. And then this should have some darkening as well. But then, because it's an eyeball, you're gonna have, like, some light. Like, you're gonna have, like, a you know, like a lighter area down here. Because of the way the eyeball reflects light. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And I know, like, this is Animal Crossing, like, half the time the villagers don't have eyes that, like, reflect light and stuff like that. But I kind of want to just, like, do it, because I think it looks cool. Because, I mean, that's art. Like, I'm adding my own spin to this. Yeah. So I think that looks good. Honestly. Alright, so what's the next thing we're doing here? We are doing... I could do the sleeves here. I don't want to do completely white. Like I said, I want to still keep them in off-white. I'm going to curve this corner a little bit. And this is actually another one where I'm going to add some shadow to the bottom. No, that's probably too much. Also, I think I hear planes outside. I know my mic is not picking that up because it's not supposed to, but I was out yesterday and, like, some F-16s flew over, so, like, that was pretty sick. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, see, this is why I was, y'all remember how I was talking about, I like to leave some lines for myself. This is why. There we go. Yeah, that sleeve is not likely to have any highlights on it. I don't know, I kind of want to expand that out a little more. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna grab this color up here. We're gonna do some highlights on the jacket now. Oops. Alright, so then I need to grab that color. So this is like where it gets like a little tricky, is because like, you know, some of your highlights run straight up against some highlights run straight up against shadow, and it's like it's a little tricky to work with. Nope. Yeah, that doesn't. Okay, there we go. Oh, what was that? Oh, reconnection. Uh-oh. Did OBS like disconnect? Did we lose that? I hope not. Alright. Yeah, okay. I know, like, technically, even though the light would be coming in this way, so the way his arms are spreaded, the light would still be hitting this top of the jacket here. So that's why I'm still highlighting it. There we go. if my stream is catching up to me or what. I don't think it is. Actually, I'm just looking at where YouTube is showing the stream being and where I'm actually at. I kind of want to go ahead and start down here. Yeah, I'm looking how this is going. So I will say, something really easy that I do. You know, some of y'all will probably think this is cheating, but something, like, easy that I do is to make the shiny version. I take this into Photoshop. And let's say I'd select all the purple, because the purple needs to be, I think the purple actually stays the same on Shiny Braviary. I could be wrong on that. I don't know, I kind of want to Google that now. Shiny Braviary. Probably gonna show me the Hisuian. No, it turns brown. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it turns brown, and then the everywhere it's red turns blue, everywhere it's blue turns red. Like, it's like the inverse. And the yellow is brighter. So if I got time, I'll show you guys how I do that. If I got time, we'll look at how I do that, because it's super easy, and like, if you know how to do it, it's great. Also, if y'all have any, like, predictions for Pokemon, for Legend Z to A, I would love to hear them, because I'm interested to see how many, like, Megas they do. Oh, wait. I turned off my stream, and I want to keep my stream up because I like to see... I like to see the chat. Like, I know I'm probably not the most prolific person who talks to chat, but if anyone is in the chat and wants to say hi, I'm not gonna not say hi. That's done. I've got the white of this jacket here I can do. See, this is tricky because, like, you know, this would actually probably be in shadow, even though the sun, you know, theoretically would hit this. Like, it's weird. It's very weird. But that's the thing, it's like you gotta... Oops. You gotta, like, learn how the light would likely hit certain things. I can probably actually make this completely white because this is something that, like, it's not going to be on the outside of the sticker, so if I wanted to, I could. Oh, yeah. I want that opacity to be 100%. Alright, let me... There we go. Now we do have a problem here where, like, this is a thing here, so we're just gonna get rid of that. There we go. Oh, we got some more up here too. I may have to fix that in Photoshop. Okay. Next, we have this one, which, yeah, there we go. So let's just select all this. My music is gone again. Did I actually finish a playlist, or... There it goes. Alright. I know sometimes it feels like I go quiet during these streams, like if I'm doing art. I'm just really concentrated. So, like I said, I may not be talkative during the entire art stream. I didn't do that. Jacket sleeve. Just noticed that. Let's get that taken care of then. Oop. Did I do shadows on that? I did. Okay. That's strange. I'm like watching my I'm watching like the preview of my live stream, and it's like showing. Oh yeah, okay. So maybe if I just move it, there we go. That's why. Alright. So, top of Braviary is mostly done. I actually really like how this turned out. We just have to do the bottom now. I think this jacket is the same color as his tail and the rest of him. So I think I can just use the same shading for that. Alright. So this is where it gets fun because, like, I have to make all the gradients of this tail match. Like, the shading that I'm doing from the stripes. Like, it all has to match, so. Alright. Yeah, okay. Alright, now we gotta go into the yellow stripes. And yes, I do have yellow. I do have a dark yellow for that. So yeah, like all these gradients have to match. Oh yeah, I guess I don't have like a dark blue for this. I don't have a shadow color for this. Alright, so now I gotta kind of like go in and clean this up. Which is gonna be a little tricky, but... This gets even harder, I promise you, when I do my method for, like, making the shiny form of it. It's a pain. But yeah, unfortunately some of this is just gonna be fixed in Photoshop. But I like to get as much done in this document as I can before I move it over. Ah. Alright. Yeah, supposedly I've been streaming for like 2 hours. Which means my computer's gonna hate me because, you know, it's gonna try to save that file. And it's not gonna like me when I try to put that file, when I try to, like, you know, actually export it and stuff. Alright, the feet. Almost done. Well, okay, no, we still have the jacket, actually. Wait, do I already have a shadow for this? I think I do. Yeah, here it is. Literally the same kind of green. Or same gray. Literally the same gray. I'm not complaining about that too much, but... Oops. Alright, let's grab a little light purple. Oh, I did accidentally. There we go. Alright. I don't know if you guys see, like, the funny lines that this is making. Again, that is a weird sketchbook thing, actually. Like I said, with the paintbrush. With the paintbrush specifically, it does that. I don't know what the deal is, but... I don't know if I'm the only one who, like, does not like sitting upright. I'm sure I'm not, but sitting is, like, sitting upright is, like, incredibly uncomfortable for me. Oops. I almost turned on symmetry. That could have been bad. Yeah, I've been dreading doing the feet. Ah, really? I hate when it does that to me. Oh wait, what am I doing? I got some shadow up here that I can draw from. There we go. this. I kind of want to add a little bit of reflectiveness to the nails, so I'm just gonna... do it this way. I'm not even gonna bother with the selection. Okay. I think I'm done with this part of doing Braviary, which, I don't know, I think it looks pretty sick, actually. So like I said, I would just have to drop them into Photoshop and do some editing, and I might just do that on my own. But anyway, I hope y'all like it. Let me just zoom out a little more so you guys can actually see them. Yeah, I hope you guys liked this stream. I hope that it was chill. You could like kind of watch or draw along. I mean, I know I like to draw along sometimes when people do art streams. So I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, subscribe. There will be more streams. Follow, like, whatever. And I guess you don't follow on YouTube. You just like and subscribe. So, so yeah, like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you want to catch the next stream. But I hope y'all enjoyed, and I am KV with a paintbrush, and I will see you guys